So welcome to today's CVG Talks. I'm Michael Taylor. A little bit about myself. I am a PSS specialist. I've been here for 2.5 years. I really enjoyed what I do here. I've been awarded 110% Club for Excellent Customer Service in 2013. I was a millionaire in 2014, also went to Summit Club in 2014. I contribute that success to my positive outlook and attitude that I have towards work. Now, we all face adversity in our daily work lives, whether that's a severe IROP day or computer issues, loud bays, too much on your mind from home, anything like that. But as professionals, we've given the commitment to overcome that adversity and provide world-class customer service that Delta is known for. You know, luckily, what I found to be true is the one thing that I can control myself is my attitude. And so, you know, think about an IROP day. I can't control that situation, but I can control my attitude. I'm not able to fix an airplane. I don't do that. So I can't stop a hurricane, but I can remain positive, and I can make the choice whether to be in a good mood or a bad mood. And when I put that decision on myself, when I have to decide whether to be in a good mood or a bad mood, I'm going to choose the right decision. You know, nobody wants to be in a bad mood. And so what I do is I focus myself on how I myself can contribute to the success of our airlines by connecting to our passengers and making them feel like, hey, we're in this together. The thing is, positivity is contagious. You know, when I hear someone in the Bay do something good, I give them a little bit of a compliment. Even if it's a small thing, you know, just reach out to them. Say, you know, you did a job well done. You know, good job. Or, you know, do little small deeds just to pass around that positivity. You know, so here's an example. The other day I had this diamond medallion. I was kind of upset about a few policies, a few of the Sky Mile changes, and I talked to him about like the business decisions behind them. The thing was, that was my first call of the day. It was a very long call. It was exhausting. At the end, I was all ready to take a break, but that was my first call of the day. I couldn't do it just yet. But somebody stood up in the Bay and they say, you really handled that passenger very well. And that just triggered this wave of relief. I felt really proud of myself, and I was actually energized to take my next call. So what I'm challenging you today is for the next month and beyond that, if you'd like it, 3 compliments a day. So that could be to your lead, to your manager, to teammates. I know with being work at home, it could be as simple as, you know, just saying a little I am, fun little message, maybe a little emoji, just to pass around that positivity with your teammates. After doing some research on staying positive in the workplace, I found there's 3 keys to contribute to a positive work environment. The first is to be enthusiastic. Attitudes are infectious, both positive and negative. So don't wait for someone to cheer you up. Take the initiative to be that person that shows verbally and non-verbally how much you truly enjoy your job. You know, we're going to run into situations where we don't feel positive. What you do there, fake it till you make it, because that will come back to you. I show enthusiasm personally through my voice tone with passengers. You know, we learned in Brandon Action that when somebody calls you, they're going to decide within the first few seconds whether you can actually help them or not. So it's not a whole lot of time to convey to them that you are that person. So as soon as they pick up, I have that positive voice tone just to show them that I am that person. Number 2, practice random acts of kindness. Congratulate your fellow coworkers on jobs well done. Just let's see. Make time in your day to practice good deeds and help others, because all this will be contagious and it'll come back to you. You know, I do this just by like holding doors open for our coworkers, smiling to them. If I see somebody who's looking a little bit down, I'll ask them about their day and, you know, just try to cheer them up a little bit. Number 3 is look for opportunities to have fun. Our workplace is like a family. We're a community of people that work closely together for 8 to 10 hours a day. Celebrate those small victories, the birthdays, the career advancements, the anniversaries. Make work fun, and it's going to feel less like work. And I've even challenged myself to use our peer-to-peer recognition. It's under My Rewards, My Delta Rewards, So take a look at that and start recognizing some of your peers when they do something well. The nice part about being such a close-knit family is we've got a lot of fundraisers out in the community that we can all take a part of and become closer-knit individuals. This is a quote from Rules of the Road. Embrace the opportunity to give back to places and communities where we live, work, and serve. I personally really like the North Pole Express. I think that's the coolest thing that we do. And so get involved in something like that, or there's habitat builds that you can go to, even if it's, you don't have to know how to build a house. You just go there and help out with lunch. We can build that community together. And my hope here is that by sharing our experiences, we can create this positive work environment, but let's get practical and relate this to personal performance with your brand advocate score. I make sure that each and every call I answer with a ton of enthusiasm, and then I match my tone of voice to whatever the passenger's needs are. When a passenger requests something, I'll immediately answer with, absolutely, let me check on that, or sure, let me see how I can make that happen. Now we understand that there are times that we just can't fulfill those requests, so what I'll tell them is like, this is what I can do for you. I want to give them a viable option. I want to leave you with a quote today. There's a little difference in people, but that little difference makes a big difference. The little difference is attitude. The big difference is whether that is positive or negative. Thank you.
Getting kind of nervous up there, you start sweating.
Oh yeah, do you have any questions? It is so hot in here.
I'm cold. I was like,
I have a question.
Yes, Kristen.
Explain a little bit more about My Delta Rewards when you're, nominating a coworker for.
I need to be in front of it to show you the
Okay.
exact link.
Okay.
But what it is, you pull it up and it just gives you a form. It'll have like the employee's name that you just fill out, and it'll send them a message. Like you can type it's a little field box, just like say, Krista did well on a phone call that I was listening to, and I don't know.
I use it
Congratulations.
a lot for GTS too, or like support departments.
Yeah.
If I get a good CES and they're really helpful, throw it a nice little, thank you, you made my day. Things
Even
like
with
that.
GTS, like I tell them, like, oh, thanks so much for your hard work on that. If it's something that's like stupidly
Right.
complicated.
Yeah.
We have to have a PNR number?
You
Or
can
not
search.
PNR,
You can search their name in the directory too, as long as you have their name. That might be
But
helpful.
they only give you your first name.
Yeah, that might be helpful. Yeah.
Okay.
What else?
Rachel, do you?
I'm good. Well, no, can you expand a little bit? The one thing that you said was about your first phone call of the day, where your person, somebody in the bay stood up and said, oh, great job on that call. Do you generally do that as well?
After that, it was actually, so it's funny, this one person, I still don't know her name when we were talking about her. I even sat next to her the other day and she was like, oh, I'm so happy you're sitting next to me because I love listening to you take calls. Like just something like that just gets me going. I get excited and I feel proud of myself. So she really set the example, so now I do that. Like somebody sitting next to me today, it's the first time I've ever sat next to her, and like she handled a diamond really well, and I was like, that was really good. Just something small like that really helps out.
What did you say to that diamond when you were explaining? I'd be curious to know.
So he's somebody that calls quite a bit, and about the same thing, and so
How did you know that?
remarks. And so what I did in that situation is he was talking about specifically he wanted his upgrades 5 days in advance on all flights.
Oh, I think I've talked to him.
And when that doesn't happen, then that's when he calls in. I just explained to him that, I would love for you to sit up front every flight and you only pay for a main cabin ticket, but the fact of the matter is, it's not something that's realistic. And so there's business decisions behind that. There's the revenue management team that dictates when those upgrades get released. Just explain the actual business decisions behind it instead of like trying to throw a veil over the situation. That's what I do.
Or say
So
you
who's
don't
up for
know.
the challenge? Did everybody kind of hear how Michael was challenging you? I think it's even, I think really going back to that challenge piece, Michael, that you threw in there about positivity. I think that's something that Work at Home really does need to focus on, and we need to hear our Work at Home voice and how we can do that not only for each other as your managers and your leads, but within your group too. Because that's kind of a luxury that we have being here in the office, but you all don't necessarily have that same kind of feeling or can hear the people. So what are your guys' thoughts about that?
I mean, you don't necessarily have to hear them, like when the reports come out, when you all send out the little emails, whoever's got so many vendors, you could drop them an IM or you could drop them a little email and say, good job, you know, I see you doing that, what you doing, cause I don't have none, you know. You know, just something like that. You don't necessarily have to hear a person to give them a compliment.
Okay, Sharon, I love that idea.
Yeah.
So are you willing to step up and take that challenge then when Krista sends that out?
I sure am.
That's awesome, because I think that's the momentum that we're looking for, right? We need to recreate that in our work at home environment, and that's gonna be all up to you all and how that looks and what that feels like for you. So I thank you, Sharon, for saying that. So I'll be looking forward to hearing from whoever it is that she's shouting out and whatever you are sharing, because that's really the gold that we're finding here is that, you know, just like she said, because I'm not getting any in, but what are you doing? And so when you share what you're doing, or when you shared that positive, hey, my gosh, you are contributing to our 1.2 ancillary revenue goal, right? So that's under the flight plan. How are you doing that? That's exactly what we're trying to figure out, how to do that and how to spread that positive momentum. And I think what Michael is saying is it starts with his attitude, right, to the day, how he sets his tone for the day. Doesn't matter what it looks like. And you guys weren't here yesterday, but Brent Parker shared that his perspective on a busy day like an hour day is that it is just another day to touch even more people that are calling us. So he's not even associating that day with a negative in his mind. So you see how we're trying to make that mind shift to say, okay, these are the days where we turn on the charm even more than we do on a normal day, right? These are the days that more people are gonna be calling us, so we're gonna have more of an impact. This is a perfect vendor day. And that's what we're finding is that our people who are performing at a high level very consistently, that's what they're doing. And so that's kind of the magic in all this, is that they're opening up their hearts, their minds, they're looking at themselves and saying, here's what I do. So thank you, Sharon, for participating in that. And who else is going to do this? Because it can't be just one person alone.
I like seeing the little smiley faces sometimes when we IM back, and then you see a smiley face, it's like, okay, and you try to send one back, or you smile when you see it. So I think it is like positive reinforcement to see the happiness when people are saying something back, and you're like, thank you, and then they spend that happy face, and like, okay, I'm happy. And it's like, you know, just those little gestures do make a difference. I mean, I see it, you know, now, so.
So is anybody already doing this? Yes?
Yesterday, the salsa thing came out. Did I send you an email?
I think so.
Congratulating you?
Yes, you
Okay.
did.
And then there was somebody from my original team that won, Robin Brown, so I shot her.
Yeah.
I'm like, way to go, Robin.
And it totally brightens my day, and it makes you feel connected to each other, and it makes you feel like you're not out there all by yourself, I think. So part of this is, you know, right now our focus is on selling more, selling up, you know, using our tools, that kind of thing. That's what you'll see in our next session. But this is where it starts, guys, is, you know, can we look at our job in a different way? And can we look through the eyes of somebody who is doing it consistently at a great level and start to adapt those kinds of behaviors into what we do to get us to the next level? So I hear you guys. I think you guys all look, I mean, is this do you like this? Is this beneficial? Is this something that you'd like to see continue? Because we've got 9 more, so whether you like it or not. And thank you for being our guinea pig. Yes, thank you so much, yes.
One thing that you didn't bring up, but it occurs sometimes, is that I compliment customers. if they're super prepared, or I am talking to an admin and they've got every flight, you know, I practically don't have to do any work, and
Yeah.
I just say, oh my gosh, you are just stellar. And
You
not
are
not all
in my world.
admins are
Yeah.
like you, so thank you very much.
Right, and that perpetuates that.
And then
that,
they just get friendlier then. A lot of them start out, they don't even tell you their name, and by the time I'm finished with them, we're chatting.
that's awesome, Mary. So I mean, is that something that everybody can try? You know, this is what we're learning out of this. Thank you for sharing that. Did you have anything else, Mike?
I don't think so.
Well, thank you. It takes a lot of courage to stand up there and pour yourself out like that in front of your peers. So thank you. And a lot of hard work went into that, to your talk too. So I appreciate that. All right. Well, with that, I don't want to.